Now at 5, a potential game changer in the fight against COVID-19, and it could be already in your home.
Protecting public lands after the area surrounding Utah's monolith was littered with trash. Park officials are sounding off about other public lands in the Beehive State.
And Utah state government could look a bit different when Spencer Cox becomes governor. We'll explain what's in the works right now in a Fox 13 News exclusive.
This study has potential to really reach out to people in the community.
First at 5, Intermountain Healthcare researchers are trying to figure out why some people get severely sick from COVID-19 and what can be done to prevent the worst cases. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kelly Chapman.
And I'm Bob Evans. Figuring out why some get so sick is part of a nationwide study looking at blood clots caused by COVID-19. Fox 13's Sydney Glenn spoke with researchers today about why this study is so important. Sydney.
Bob and Kelly, there are a lot of COVID-19 studies out there, but most of them are looking at the sickest of the sick, the people who may have died or in the hospital. What researchers say make this study so unique is they're looking at people who aren't severely ill in an attempt to keep them from ever ending up inside a hospital bed.
The information that we get from this study may help doctors keep patients out of the hospital in the future and may even help prevent some of the long-term complications that we're seeing.
Researchers believe COVID-19 may be causing people to develop small blood clots.
These blood clots can form in the brain, in the heart, in the lungs, in the legs, and in other parts of the body.
Now, researchers want to figure out what role the blood clots play and just how sick people get.
And these blood clotting complications, in many ways, are thought to be a cause of clinical deterioration or even death in patients with COVID-19.
The complications may even be the reason people are becoming COVID-19 long haulers, researchers believe.
A lot of the long-term complications that we are seeing from COVID-19 may be due to the clots themselves or from the inflammation that is a sequelae of them. We think that all of this is part and parcel of the same process in all sorts of different systems of the body.
But before researchers can prove any of this, they need to study it, and that's just what they're doing. About 7,000 people with COVID-19 across the country will be part of the study for about 2 months. People between the ages of 40 and 80 who have not been hospitalized are eligible to be part of the study. Each participant will receive either a blood thinner, baby aspirin, or a placebo. Researchers will track things like blood clots and hospitalizations.
A study like this, in many ways, that's a preventative study, helps those patients whom we just don't have an indication at this point of whether or not they're going to need hospitalization or ICU level care.
Researchers say they don't want you to take this into your own hands, even though you may have things like baby aspirin in your house. They are looking for people, however, to be part of this study. We have more information on that on our website, fox13now.com. Live in Murray, Sydney Glenn, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Thanks, Sydney. With 4,004 new cases of COVID-19 today, Utah has now passed 200,000 cases statewide since the pandemic began. Today's increase is the third largest one-day jump we've seen. The rolling 7-day average is 2,611 cases a day, with 22.6 of those tests coming back positive. There are also 17 new deaths we learned about today. One was a Weber County woman under the age of 45. There has now been a total of 906 Utahns who have died due to COVID-19.
The Navajo Nation is in the final days of a 3-week-long lockdown, and so far it's seeing a reduction in the spread of the virus. Yesterday, the Navajo Nation only reported 104 new cases and 3 more deaths. But this continues a trend of smaller case counts. Tribal health officials have identified 75 communities with uncontrolled spread of COVID-19, including the Kayenta and Shiprock communities that go into Utah. So far, more than 16,000 cases of COVID-19 have been identified in the Navajo Nation, along with 656 deaths.
Moving on to a Fox 13 News update, the owners of 25 Salt Lake area bars are asking the governor to lift the health order that bans alcohol sales after 10 p.m. The owner of Twist Bar and Grill tells Fox 13 News if something doesn't change in the next day or two, they will be filing a lawsuit along with several other bar owners. Fox 13 News first told you about the possibility of a lawsuit last week. The bar owners argue the 10 p.m. cutoff is causing them and their employees extreme financial hardships. You can read the full letter on our website. Find it at fox13now.com.
In Europe, there has been a big step in the race for a vaccine. The United Kingdom has approved emergency use of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, making it the first country in the world to do so. Health officials there say they have already bought 40 million doses and will be rolling those out next week. In final trials, Pfizer's vaccine was shown to be 95% effective. FDA approval in the U.S. could come later this month, with rollout before the end of the year.
Here in the U.S., the CDC has issued new guidance for holiday travel, saying the best way for you and your family to stay safe is by staying home. But if you still decide to travel, they recommend travelers get tested for COVID-19 1 to 3 days before their trip, and then again 3 to 5 days after they return home. This comes one day after the CDC reduced the COVID quarantine time from 14 days to 7 to 10 days.
Negotiations on a new coronavirus relief bill remain at a stalemate. Top Democrats in Washington support the $908 billion package proposed by a bipartisan group of senators yesterday. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell wants a bill President Trump will sign. The White House says a package costing trillions of dollars and another round of $1,200 direct payments to Americans are off the table.
We still would like targeted assistance for PPP, small businesses, some unemployment assistance extensions, some help for airlines, other small businesses, schools, anything related to COVID going back to school.
Congress has until December 11th to fund the government and avoid a shutdown. Senator McConnell says the spending bill and coronavirus relief may come together as a package. Keep it tuned to Fox 13 News for the latest COVID-19 coverage. And don't forget, you can watch our newscast streaming online for free on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Just search Fox 13 on your device and install it today.
Well, if you were with us for Fox 13 News at 9 last night, Allison, you were talking about the potential winds we could see in northern Utah today. However, you did a really good job of describing what would happen and really kind of, I think, easing a lot of people knowing that it wasn't going to be like anything we saw with that windstorm in September, and everything you said has come to fruition.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm happy that it was accurate. And now we still do, though, have some wind gusts, and I think our best window for the strongest wind gusts tonight will be between about 5 and 9 p.m., but it's not going to be like the event that we had in September. So yes, I do hope that helps you guys. But right now we are seeing some wind gusts about 15 to 25 miles per hour from Panguitch down through Colorado City, and then right now over towards Caliente through Enterprise. And then across northern Utah, we have had some wind gusts today. South Weber, we look at the University of Utah, Centerville, Farmington, that's where we've had some wind gusts today, about 35 to 40 miles per hour. And I think that's probably where we're going to peak tonight. We'll mostly be around 40 to 45 miles per hour with these wind gusts. So as we go ahead and look at that satellite and radar right now, that's clear. This is where we have the wind advisory until 5 a.m. So it's mostly the northern part of the Wasatch Front. So let's call it the northern interchange all the way up to the Idaho border along I-15. And it's because we have low pressure into eastern Utah. And with that, we've got this wind that's coming out of the northeast. We'll keep it dry, though. It's going to be a dry event. We will see some wind gusts, and those will again be strongest through about 9 p.m. Then things are going to drop drastically as far as the wind the wind goes, but our temperatures will also be dropping tonight, and it's going to be a very cold night here across Utah. Most of us will be around 20 degrees to 10 degrees as you wake up. Right now, a lot of the state are around 20 to 30. So Salt Lake City into the 20s by 9 o'clock tonight, and that's when our wind will be dying down here across northern Utah. I'll have that full forecast coming up.
There is a lot more still ahead on Fox 13 News Live at 5. Coming up, the notorious Utah monolith led to many visitors leaving a lot of man-made garbage in Mother Nature. What state and national park officials want you to do to respect Utah's public lands.
The White House weighs in on the president's ongoing election fight. That plus who the president-elect is talking to as we near a transition in the Oval Office.
And Utah is going through a transition of its own. We'll have an exclusive look at what could change under Governor-elect Spencer Cox's administration come the new year.
One justice for all. Judge Judy. Visit Happy Honda Days to get a great offer on the CR-V. While others may be decking the halls, you could be dashing through the snow with the best value of the season.
In the middle of the Nevada desert lies an oasis, West Wendover, where your finest experience and safety are our top priority. We are taking special precautions and using the highest standards to make sure you have an enjoyable stay. Visit West Wendover, your safest bet.
We're in the giving spirit here at RC Willey. Hurry in to wrap up your holidays with huge savings throughout the store.
We're taking extra precautions to provide a safe shopping experience. Hurry in for holiday savings on name brand appliances. This Whirlpool gas range is $7.99. This chest freezer is $1.99. And there's much more. Save on gifts your family will enjoy all year, including this TCL 43-inch 4K Smart TV, now just $229. Wrap up your holidays with RC Willey.
President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration now just 49 days away, but President Trump is still doubling down on his claims of widespread voter fraud.
Mr. Biden spoke virtually today with small business owners affected by the coronavirus pandemic and what kind of help they need. President Trump's legal team continues to file lawsuits in battleground states, even though the Justice Department has said it has not found any evidence of widespread voter fraud.
Well, Attorney General Barr has stated that he and the Justice Department, this is President Trump Justice Department, has seen no widespread fraud.
On Saturday, President Trump is headed to Georgia to campaign for Republican Senate candidates. It will be his first rally since the election.
The U.S. women's national soccer team settled part of its lawsuit, accusing the U.S. Soccer Federation of unequal working conditions. Now, the suit accused the Federation of discrimination when it comes to staffing and travel compared to the men's team. The settlement did not resolve the issue of player pay, which could still go to court.
The pandemic could be hurting children's math skills. A new study of 4 million students between 3rd and 8th grades found students performed at the same levels in reading compared to last year, but math scores fell an average of 5 to 10 points. Students in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades showed the biggest drops. The study recommends school districts run their own research to find out where their students are falling behind.
In world news, a Chinese spacecraft, that one right there, has landed successfully on the moon. It will now spend a day gathering soil and rock samples from a previously unexplored area. If successful, China will become only the 3rd country to collect samples from the moon, along with the United States and the former Soviet Union. The goal is to determine the physical makeup of that part of the moon and what is in the soil.
Still ahead, Walmart is trying another strategy to help it compete with Amazon, the most recent idea to entice customers.
A shakeup could be coming to state agencies here on Capitol Hill. What a lawmaker and Governor-elect Spencer Cox are looking at coming up next.
Homer's rocking out. Now bob your head. Bob it.
I'm amazing.
The Simpsons. Tonight at 6 on Fox 13.
Thursday night, the MLS Western Conference semifinal is on Fox. Gianluca Busio and Sporting KC.
Sensational goal!
take on Kevin Molino and Minnesota United to see who moves on to the conference final.
Are you serious?
Sporting KC, Minnesota United, Thursday at 8 Eastern on Fox.
This season, Kia's got great deals on our new lineup of vehicles. So this year, you won't just cope with winter, you'll command it. Get 0% APR for 66 months, plus $1,000 holiday bonus cash or $2,500 customer cash on a 2021 Sportage.
When it comes to being on budget, I lead the charge. And for this multitasking number cruncher, time is money. So no more chasing sales. Because at Floor & Decor, I get rock bottom prices on top quality products. And with free in-store design services, I score expert advice and project planning. Not like free with purchase either, like free. Mission accomplished. Now that's time well spent.
Explore Floor & Decor in person or online at flooranddecor.com.
We are on a mission, but our eyes are set on a different horizon, one that's closer to home. At Select Health, we're here for your great journey, supporting you in all the small steps you take forward every single day. By helping you embrace a new, healthier world, mentally and physically. So it's our mission to help you live your healthiest life possible.
This season, Kia's got great deals on our new lineup of vehicles. So this year, you won't just cope with winter, you'll command it. Get 0% APR for 66 months, plus $1,000 holiday bonus cash or $2,500 customer cash on a 2021 Sportage.
Governor-elect Spencer Cox could shake up Utah state government. His transition team is scrutinizing every state agency right now, Bob.
And a state lawmaker, Kelly, is working on a bill right now to combine some of those agencies. Fox 13's Ben Winslow is live on Utah's Capitol Hill with the exclusive story. Ben.
Every state agency is filling out a questionnaire that takes a look at the services they provide and its impact, their budget, the impact of COVID-19 on them, and whether multiple agencies do the exact same job.
It's a great time to see if there are better ways to do things.
Governor-elect Spencer Cox and Lieutenant Governor-elect Deidre Henderson have ordered a review of every state agency. This questionnaire gives insight into what they're looking at. It asks agency heads if Utahns are better off as a result of their programs, how they maximize taxpayer dollars, how the media characterizes their agency, the impact of COVID-19, and employee satisfaction. It gives an eye to priorities of the new administration. It asks about employee diversity, how many employees work in urban and rural Utah, how many are able to telework. It also asks if departments overlap and how could a future administration reduce full-time employees while maximizing value. Are you aware of where positions within your agency may be duplicated across other agencies? It's raised questions about whether state agencies might be combined under a Cox-Henderson administration, but a spokeswoman tells us the transition team is exploring many ideas, and these surveys are just part of that exploration. No recommendations have been made, nor any decisions by the incoming administration. We're keeping an open mind.
I'm aware of what they're doing, and I think they're aware of what I am doing.
Representative Paul Ray is running a bill that would combine some state agencies and departments.
What I'm looking at doing is taking Medicaid and moving it to workforce services, because the majority of the work on Medicaid is already done in workforce services.
He'd like to merge Utah's Department of Health and the Department of Human Services, which could save billions in dollars.
That's the majority of the budget for the Department of Health. So it makes sense to at least explore moving the Department of Health and Department of Human Services into one so that you have Health and Human Services. And then you find a lot of efficiencies by doing that. And then we've been able to reduce the cabinet by one member, and budget-wise, it flows a lot easier.
It's unknown if the state would lay anyone off by combining agencies. Representative Ray says his bill envisions moving people around and maybe leaving vacant positions unfilled.
I think a lot of it will be your operating costs that we'll be able to save off of.
Again, the governor-elect's transition team says they're still reviewing things. No decisions have been made. Representative Ray's bill is expected to be introduced in the 2021 legislative session that starts next month. Live on the Hill, Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Ben, thank you. The Salt Lake City Council is backing plans to create a public market at the State Fair Park.
The council passed a resolution just last night supporting a permanent public market. The city would work with Salt Lake County and the state to make it happen. The city has designated it as a priority for development. A market could be up and running by next May.
Just a moment ago, we got a glimpse of that sunset behind Ben Winslow up at the Capitol. That's gorgeous out there, Allison.
Yes, not many clouds, but still a pretty sunset. And great minds think alike, Bob, because that's what I'm starting with. A couple different sunset views for you right now. We're going to start with a live look from our Oquirrh cam. This is facing out west right now. You can see the south end of the Great Salt Lake. Beautiful view. And here's what it looks like in the Salt Lake Valley right now. It's 36 degrees with temperatures that actually feel like 28 degrees because we have our wind out of the northwest right now at 10 miles per hour. Top weather headlines. We've had some gusty conditions today, about 35 to 40 miles per hour. University of Utah, South Weber, a couple of select locations across central southwest Utah. It has been breezy for parts of the state today. Now we'll have valley inversions that will continue with moderate air quality over the next couple of days, and there's really no big storms in the forecast. As we look at our wind right now here across southwest Utah, wind isn't gusting too bad right now, but we do have this window of time from now until 9 p.m. I think, especially for the Wasatch Front, northern Wasatch Front. That's when we could end up with some gusty conditions up to about 40-45 miles per hour. And the setup that we have is low pressure off to our east. We've got a blocking kind of pattern from the Uintas, so we do end up with most of those wind gusts kind of funneling in from north of Parley's Canyon, where we usually see the strongest. And it's because of this low pressure that is moving into eastern Utah, and with that counterclockwise wind, that's why we see that wind out of the northeast. And when it funnels through those canyons, and if you live on any of those areas that are prone to those downslope winds, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for the average person in the middle of the Salt Lake Valley today, don't expect to see a whole lot. Maybe some breezes about 10 to 20 miles per hour, but overall, not a whole lot for you. We look at our extended forecast, and it's still hinting at some pattern changes by the end of next week. So we do have that chance for some storms to return about December 10th or 11th. Keeping our eye on that until then. Some very cold temperatures right now here across the state, around 35 to 40 degrees for a lot of you, in the 20s up in the mountains. Satellite and radar for today, we do have just clear sky. That's where those temperatures are really going to drop overnight. Deer Valley opening later this week, so opening day on Saturday to the public. We look at Salt Lake City over the next few hours. Temps into the 20s by about 8-9 p.m. and then you'll keep it close to 20 degrees as you wake up tomorrow morning. So it will be a chilly start for your Thursday morning with mostly clear sky. Tomorrow here across the state, a lot of sunshine, near 40 for Salt Lake City, in the 30s for Park City, St. George 51, and for Moab 44 degrees. Overnight, it's going to be cold here across the state, and it will be cold the next several mornings. Single digits, Park City, Evanston, Logan at 7 a.m. Wasatch Front about 15 to 20 degrees, and for St. George 25 degrees as you wake up in the morning. Tomorrow afternoon, pretty similar to today. You'll keep those temps a few degrees below average, and for St. George, close to 50 on Thursday, mid-50s after that into this upcoming weekend, close to 60 degrees. I will keep my eye on the chance for maybe some flurries to develop along the Nevada border in the middle of the weekend. And for the Wasatch Front, temps near 40 through Friday, mid-40s this upcoming weekend. And then it looks like at the end of next week, so in about a week and a half, we are hinting at those changes. So I'll show you that extended forecast coming up in a little bit, and we can talk more about the wind event for tonight and those downslope winds all in the next forecast.
All right, thank you, Allison. Still ahead, as the weather gets colder, people experiencing homelessness will need help. We'll show you how you can give back during the pandemic.
And attention, Target shoppers. That's a lot of you, right? We'll explain the changes happening this year with gift card sales.
Live with Kelly and Ryan. Weekdays at 10 a.m. on Fox 13.
2 classic Arby's sandwiches for $6. One, a French dip sandwich with a side of au jus. The other, au jus with a side of French dip sandwich. Don't overthink it. Arby's, we have the meats.
At the Home Depot, get Black Friday prices through December. Plus faster ways to find what you need, convenient ways to pick up, and the ease of having holiday cheer delivered. Holiday shopping improved with the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey! Yeah? I switched to Geico and got more. More $1,000 savings on car insurance. They helped with homeowners, too. Okay. Plus, motorcycle, boat, and RV insurance. Geico's got you covered. Like a blanket.
Houston, you seeing this?
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Second down 9 from their own 35. Just over 9 minutes to go in this quarter. They need to score on this drive.
It's tamale season, bro.
Tamales are back at Del Taco, filled with shredded pork and wrapped in a traditional corn husk. They're delicious as they are, or smother them with chili and cheese, red and green sauce, or spicy Cholula sauce. Starting at 2 for $4 now at Del Taco. Oh. Eat one today. Save some for tamale.
When a beloved Salt Lake City restaurant wanted to lower their costs and improve their lighting, they turned to WattSmart in the Small Business Direct program.
To have them take care of the entire thing was actually less than what I could even buy the bulbs for.
Everything flowed and it happened. It was like magic.
Better lighting, lower energy bills. Now Red Iguana can focus on what they do best, like serving up the perfect mole. Find out what we can do for you at wattsmart.com.
When you need affordable health care for all ages and stages, lean on Molina Healthcare. Molina has 40 years of experience caring for moms, kids, and families across the U.S. Molina provides 24/7 virtual care, plan options with low copays, quality network of providers and hospitals, mobile applications for mobile people, preventive care services, and more, all at no cost. For affordable, quality health care, choose Molina. Go to choosemolina.com for details and to see if you qualify.
All right, let's start Money Watch for Walmart shoppers out there. Listen up, the company now removing the $35 minimum spending requirement for free shipping for all Walmart Plus members.
See how Amazon is affecting everybody? Starting Friday, any order from Walmart's website will now be shipped to members' homes for free in 1 or 2 days, no matter the price. However, this does not apply to groceries. Walmart Plus members, if you're getting grocery items shipped from Walmart, the $35 minimum still remains.
All right, from one of my favorites to the next, Walmart to Target here. The annual gift card sale at Target does have some changes this year. You now have to be a member of Target's loyalty program to get the 10% discount. This year's sale will last 2 days instead of just 1, and it will be this coming Saturday and Sunday, both in-store and online, so 2 different options. The maximum discount is increasing from $30 to $50. Now, the deal is only for Target gift cards, and the discount can only be used for 1 transaction.
Men's Warehouse parent company Tailored Brands is emerging from bankruptcy protection. It filed for reorganization in August. The company says the process helped it to eliminate more than $680 million in debt. Tailored Brands announced plans in July to cut its workforce by 20% and close up to 500 stores.
Cosmetics company Sephora will set up shop in different stores. Sephora's contract with JCPenney expires in 2023, and they'll be moving to Kohl's. It is a blow to JCPenney's ability to succeed as its bankruptcy winds down. JCPenney says it's developing a new beauty concept while the Sephora shops remain in its stores through the end of the contract.
U.S. stocks closed higher today after struggling to find direction for most of the day. All 3 major indices tumbled after the opening bell, with the Dow falling more than 200 points before paring those losses. It actually added 60 points today, closing at 29,884. The Nasdaq lost 6, and the S&P rose 7.
You've likely heard of it, and now the Utah legislature wants to formally recognize the U.S. Space Force, how it could end up helping the state's economy.
Well, the Utah monolith, the latest way that people have trashed some of our public lands here in Utah. Not the monolith itself, though, that we're talking about. We're talking about what's around it. I'm Brian Schnee, live in Salt Lake City with an explanation coming up.
And a follow-up story to a tragic event in Taylorsville earlier this year. What we're learning about the driver in a fatal crash that changed one family's life forever.
Join Kelly Chapman weeknights on Fox 13 News at 9.
Head home this holiday with the one you love. Visit your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today for exceptional lease and financing offers at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event.
We drive everywhere to help our son reach his dream of becoming an elite swimmer. So we enrolled in the Know Your Drive program with American Family Insurance. It gives us discounts for safe driving and other benefits, like emergency roadside service, which comes in handy, no matter where his dreams take him. With Know Your Drive, save up to 20% and get closer to your dreams. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
The new iMart Express is now open in St. George. 2 pairs start at $38.71 and 2 pairs with progressive lenses just $76.92. For the best value in eyewear, come to iMart Express.
Right glasses.
Right price.
Right now.
Woo!
Come on. Let's go.
Come on, let's go in.
Toyotathon is on. 'Tis the season for great year-end deals.
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2020 Highlander. Or lease a new 2021 RAV4 for just $219 per month.
Don't miss out. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
At Papa Murphy's, we make fresh pizza that you bake at home. Because home is where the fun is. Right now, get the chicken garlic pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
The now world-famous Utah monolith is the latest example of a disturbing trend happening not just here in Utah, but across the nation.
Fox 13's Brian Schnee checked out how the pandemic has affected the way some people have treated our public lands. He is live at a trailhead near Hogle Zoo in Salt Lake City tonight. Good evening, Brian.
Hey, good evening, Bob and Kelly. It's not entirely because of the pandemic, but COVID-19 has pushed more people outside, which is nice, especially in the state of Utah, where we have just so much to offer here in the outdoors. But it's one of those things that if there's more people outside, there could be more devastation left behind with some of those lands that we all share together. Whether it's the Mighty Five, the millions of acres of BLM and Forest Service land, or the more than 40 state parks in Utah.
It's the same as we always hope they would treat them. You know, we take nothing but photographs and memories, you know, leave nothing behind sort of thing.
Some are doing those things to keep the gems of Utah pristine, while others are trashing the land.
There have been a couple of notable challenges that we've had this year.
More visitation in 2020 at specific parks and locations statewide.
Because of the pandemic, part of the solution is getting outside.
Some state and national parks have seen an increase in vandalism, and some with more trash left behind.
In our world, the buzzword certainly is responsible recreation.
Seemingly, as things are starting to settle down at parks in Utah, the hype of the Utah monolith picked up. The exact coordinates of the location wasn't specifically put out by Department of Public Safety, but it was quickly found with the help of technology.
When you drive that long and you realize that it's only a 10-minute, 15-minute walk over, you might as well do it.
Turns out, once publicized, the monolith wasn't too hard to find at all.
People, you know, want to rush out to these places and see these things.
And only once the monolith was removed did the word start to spread about the damage that had been done to the land nearby. The Bureau of Land Management acknowledging that visitors have left trash and human waste behind, as well as parking illegally and driving off-road in delicate areas.
We can bring more education into how to enter these places safer and put an emphasis on that because a lot of people don't know how to respect nature.
To be clear, not all visitors are out here trashing our public lands, but more education is still needed for folks that are newer to outdoor recreation. As a matter of fact, I spoke with some state and national parks officials here in the state of Utah. They've actually seen more people adapting as visitors to our state and national parks by practicing social distancing and even wearing masks in more crowded areas. We're live in Salt Lake City tonight. Brian Schnee, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Brian, thank you. We have an update now on a story we brought you over the summer. You may remember a Taylorsville man. He is now charged with DUI in a crash that killed a 2-year-old little girl. Court documents show 43-year-old Michael Condor had morphine in his system back in July when he crashed into a car that had stopped to avoid hitting a small dog in the road. It was the impact that forced the car onto the sidewalk where a woman was walking with her 2-year-old twin daughters.
I can't imagine what the family went through and is probably still going through and will go through for the rest of their lives. That's, it's these kinds of results that really highlight the need to make sure that when we get behind the wheel, we're capable of driving that vehicle as safely as possible.
Investigators say Michael Condor actually stopped to help that day. He later voluntarily submitted to a blood draw. Condor did not have a prescription for the morphine in his system.
Provo firefighters battled a 2-alarm fire this afternoon. Crews were called to 5000 North University Avenue a little after 1. The fire was at a nearly finished apartment complex. Began on the first floor and spread to the second. Crews knocked the fire down after finding exactly where it was.
It was caused by an exterior heat source being used by a contractor. They were working with some tar paper. Ended up catching that and then getting in between an intentionally placed dead space.
Damage was contained to one corner of the 68-unit complex. There was also smoke coming from the 4th floor. That turned out to be a propane heater that burned but did no other damage. Several high-profile Utahns have been the target of protests at their homes in recent weeks.
Some cities have now made that illegal and others are proposing it. Fox 13's Spencer Joseph has the story from Lehigh, the latest city to consider such an ordinance.
The city of Lehigh hasn't actually seen a targeted protest against an official. However, they're looking at neighboring cities like Orem, where there has been one, and potentially taking some preemptive action to stop it.
It's when they get out of hand and people believe that they have more rights in the manner in which they protest than they actually do.
Over the last few months, the issue of protesting at officials' houses has come to the forefront.
We're proposing that we adopt an ordinance in our city that would prohibit that.
A proposal to make that illegal at Tuesday night's Lehigh City Council meeting, coming from Chief of Police Darren Paul. If passed, it would make targeted protesting a Class B misdemeanor, punishable by a $1,000 fine or 6 months jail time.
That would allow us to resolve these kind of cases in the justice court.
The city isn't the first to do so. Orem adopted an almost identical ordinance in November. While there haven't been any targeted protests in Lehigh, protests at homes of officials like Dr. Angela Dunn, Governor-elect Spencer Cox, and closest to Lehigh, Governor Gary Herbert in Orem are the reason for why the council is nervous.
Is it going to be perfect? Probably not, but I think it's a whole lot better than to have nothing.
But some had their concerns.
I don't want to inconvenience others because I'm protected, if that makes sense.
Well, and I look at the real life situation, and I'm not sure I'd have seen a news report on protesters gathering 5 doors down from Angela Dunn's house.
We don't want to infringe on people's First Amendment rights.
Lehigh police feels while it hasn't happened here, it's important to protect families of officials who might be the target of a protest.
The biggest thing is that we want to protect people and help them feel safe in their own homes.
Still, everyone is taking their time and discussing if this is the right move for the city.
Just working with city council, the city attorney to really come up with the best ordinance that is for Lehigh City.
This now goes to the city staff to actually write into legal terms. They'll then present it back to the city council where they can adopt it for the future. In Lehigh, Spencer Joseph, Fox 13 News, Utah.
The Utah legislature is moving forward with plans to recognize the U.S. Space Force as part of the U.S. military. The state's Military Affairs Commission voted unanimously today to acknowledge it. That allows Utah to potentially land lucrative federal contracts for the aerospace industry. Space Force was created by President Trump 2 years ago to guard the United States' interests in outer space.
Meteorologist Allison Krogan is in the First Alert Weather Center today. Kind of a big day for you, Allison. I know you've been tracking those storms ever since last night.
Yes, so we do have some wind gusts that have been around 35 to 45 miles per hour for portions of the state today. Where we have our wind advisory is the northern part of the Wasatch Front right now, and I'm happy to report we don't have any strong wind right now, but we're in the window of time from about 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. when we could see some wind gusts around 40 to 45 miles per hour. Our sustained wind here across the state, though, it's really not that bad. It's enough that it would be noticeable for several areas like St. George, Cedar Cedar City right now, where it's sustained at 15 miles per hour. And we'll continue with that wind about 10 to 20 miles per hour for southern Utah. Wasatch Front, it's a downslope wind where it's mostly Parley's Canyon and north where we're going to see those strongest wind gusts as we head into the evening. So this is where we have the wind advisory for the areas of Beige, so right along I-15 up towards the Idaho border, and then all the way towards the northern interchange. University of Utah clocking in at about 35 miles per hour earlier today. So it's definitely something that you would notice if you're in the area, but if you're not in the area, it's just a normal day for you. We have clear sky here across the state right now, cool temperatures around 20 to 30. Coming up, I'll have that full forecast, including your next chance for some storms as well.
All right, Allison, thank you. Still ahead, we're learning the pandemic is having a negative effect on women in higher education. We'll show you how one organization is trying to get them back on track.
And both men and women, a lot of you have lost jobs because of the pandemic, but there are still a lot of people hiring right now. We've got all the details on an upcoming virtual job fair. We'll tell you about it when we come back.
Fox 13's Tamara Vaifanua, part of Utah's #1 news team.
Few things are more satisfying than watching an epic Arby's French dip soak up a cup of warm, flavorful au jus. The perfect ratio of sauce and sandwich. And what's that? You ran out of sandwich? Arby's knew this would happen. Which is a great time to bring up this backup sandwich. 2 French dips for $6. Arby's, we have the meats.
We're in the giving spirit here at RC Willey. Hurry in to wrap up your holidays with huge savings throughout the store.
We're taking extra precautions to provide a safe shopping experience. Hurry in for holiday savings on name brand appliances. This Whirlpool gas range is $7.99. This chest freezer is $1.99. And there's much more. Save on gifts your family will enjoy all year, including this TCL 43-inch 4K Smart TV, now just $229. Wrap up your holidays with RC Willey.
Welcome back tonight, everyone. Fewer women have been enrolling in higher education nationwide since the start of the pandemic. So now a group of successful women have created an organization to address it. The group is called Possibilities for Women. It's launching an initiative. It's called Women for Women During COVID. It's a scholarship program for working female students who have lost their job or suffered significant cuts in hours as well as pay, all due to COVID-19.
If we want to change the trajectory of all of these political and kind of moral dilemmas that we're in right now in our country, we know from history that educating the women who would then become the educators of their children and promote the importance of furthering education to their own families is the way to change a society and change a community.
I am so for that. The goal is to award 10 scholarships to women all over the country struggling right now financially to stay in school. They are holding an online raffle to win prizes that goes through December 16th. If you'd like to learn more, go to fox13now.com.
Now, if you are out of work right now or underemployed, Workforce Services is holding a virtual job fair tomorrow. More than 100 Utah employers will be there offering a variety of full, part-time, and telework positions. Some of the employers include the Deer Valley Resort, Hughes General Contractors, and Intermountain Healthcare. You can apply on your computer or smartphone, even with the pandemic. The department says there are still jobs available.
No matter what you're looking for, there's a good chance that we'll have an employer there, and you just get online and you chat with them in a chat box, like you chat with your friends, and upload a PDF of your resume so you're ready to go, and you can just do that all from home.
The job fair runs 3 hours tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Department of Workforce Services recommends registering with them before the fair begins. We have a link to the online registration at fox13now.com.
How volunteers can help the homeless this holiday season. I'm Aaron Cox, and coming up next, I'm going to show you what the Volunteers of America have planned.
Coming up in sports, Rudy Gobert is eligible for a Supermax extension. Will the Jazz give it to him? We'll hear from the Jazz All-Star coming up in sports. And the BYU basketball team played much better today against St. John's. was it good enough to get the win? The highlights are on the way.
Start for their leading scorer.
There are 0 reasons not to get into a Volkswagen, especially now that you can start shopping from home. Click, call, or come by today. Visit our Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event and lease the 2020 Tiguan S4 Motion today with 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 to its signing.
When it comes to being on budget, I lead the charge. And for this multitasking number cruncher, time is money. So no more chasing sales. Because at Floor & Decor, I get rock bottom prices on top quality products. And with free in-store design services, I score expert advice and project planning. Not like free with purchase either, like free. Mission accomplished. Now that's time well spent.
Explore Floor & Decor in person or online at flooranddecor.com.
There's stock and there's insurance company stuff. After you're hurt, never go it alone. Call Siegfried Jensen today.
Any Hour Services is giving away cash for the holidays. From now until Christmas, get a $500 Visa gift card with every new furnace or air conditioner purchase, and a $50 Visa gift card with every indoor air quality purchase. To schedule a free estimate, call us or visit anyhour.com.
When you have 0 worries and 0 stress, there are 0 reasons not to get into a Volkswagen. Click, call, or come by today. Visit our Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event and lease the 2020 Jetta S today with 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 to its signing.
We really can't do it without the support of our compassionate community.
Utah's most vulnerable people are out on the streets, often needing help finding all 3 of their meals on any given day. And the pandemic has made it more difficult for Utahns who want to help those people.
As Fox 13's Aaron Cox shows us, from now on, you may just be giving in a different way.
Helping the homeless will look different this year. Donations will be taken by appointment only, and for volunteers, some can even help from their home. Between 6 and 400 West, homeless camps line the streets.
It's only going to get colder.
And with the lowering temperatures comes the greater need to help the homeless get through to their next meal.
We have 3 centers that we actually need volunteers to come in and cook for and provide them meals.
Savannah Young with Volunteers of America, Utah, says they give out 3 meals to nearly 300 people each day. 200 women are served meals daily. 40 to 60 youth have daily meals through their center, and a group of 20 women and children are served meals as well.
It's made it a bit more difficult serving meals, sorting donations in our donation centers.
Even though Young says they've seen the number of volunteers drop, they've seen the number of first-time volunteers go up.
It's just been amazing to see how the community has stepped up in other ways. We've had people drop off meals that they've already cooked for and stuff like that if they didn't necessarily want to serve.
Dropping off meals, and now they're in need of folks dropping off donations.
Blankets, sleeping bags, winter coats, winter boots, any hobby items for teens.
Whatever the gift, Young hopes people will help fill the camps lining the streets with the warmth that comes from help. We're going to put a link of resources on our website, fox13now.com, and included in that list is how to help our refugee community. In Salt Lake City, Aaron Cox, Fox 13 News, Utah.
It is one of the most iconic images of all time from one of the greatest albums ever.
Yeah, that image I totally recognize. You do too. Yep. Believe it or not, there's a Utah connection to it. Did you know it was a Utah artist who helped create the cover art for the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band?
The Beatles were supposed to pick their heroes, and among John's heroes were Hitler and Jesus Christ. And so, that had to be edited out, basically.
Okay, that's a whole story
wow.
in and of itself right
wow.
there. Hear more about it. It's a story you don't want to miss, and you can watch it tonight at 9. We're going to show you how this all happened and find out how the image influences art in Salt Lake City today. That piece of art, we'll tell you where you can go see that in person. That's coming up on Fox 13 News at 9. Join us then.
Boy, I'm not going to miss that. This year, you can enjoy the Temple Square musical performances from the comfort and warmth of your own living room. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has compiled Christmas performances from people all over the world. The concerts start tonight and will run online at 6 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday night until December 23rd. And I guarantee you'll be able to hear the music when you log on to those online concerts. You can watch them on the church's website and Facebook page.
Oh, they should be good. I love a good bell choir.
Yes.
Like that one you were seeing there. All right. COVID-19 is not stopping a Christmas tradition in southern Utah. The Dickens Christmas Festival is open now through December 5th at the Dixie Convention Center. That's in St. George. But there will, of course, be some changes to the annual craft show. Masks are mandatory and there will be routine cleaning. Tickets must be ordered online this year if you'd like to attend. Just go to fox13now.com and we'll link you over.
Hope you're all having a great Wednesday evening. Air quality here across the state currently good. So it's better than it was on Monday, but it's cold outside, so it's hard to get out and enjoy it, especially during the early morning hours. But most of the Salt Lake Valley showing up with good air right now, with a couple of locations kind of scattered throughout the valley showing up as moderate with our data from Purple Air and into Utah County. It's all looking good right now. Very happy to see that. Over the next couple of days, the forecast is for voluntary action in moderate air, and I do think the inversion will be getting worse as we head into the next couple of days, as we're going to be in between storms. But right now, Salt Lake City downtown, dry roads, 36 degrees with your wind 10 miles per hour. For Ogden, that wind is about 10 miles per hour as well at 38 degrees, and for Provo, 5 miles per hour at 35 degrees. So wind has been the main story today, and it's just the areas that are prone to downslope winds. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably don't live in one of those areas, but mostly Parley's Canyon and north. And then we often see this in Washington County where we have just that wind coming out of the northeast. It shoots through those canyons, and we have those wind gusts right now over just east of I-15 and the eastern part of Washington County over towards Kanab. And for northern Utah, I'm very happy to see that our wind gusts aren't bad right now. We'll head into the evening hours, and we have this potential between about now and 9 p.m. where we could see some wind gusts up to 35 to 45 miles per hour, but that's probably where we're going to peak. Our valley inversions will have moderate air quality here for the foreseeable future, and then we have no big storms in the forecast. However, we do have some things to talk about, but first let's talk about the cold temps. Wasatch Front around 35 to 40 degrees. Park City around 20 right now at 19 degrees. Fort Tooele 25 degrees. We look into southwest Utah, St. George currently 50, and over towards Green River and Moab, temps right now in the upper 30s. Satellite and radar showing you clear sky here across Utah. Overnight temps will be about 10 to 20 degrees, so it will be a very cold start tomorrow morning. So make sure you're bundling up if you're running any errands early in the day, especially over towards Ely. Did you see that one lonely degree? We look at highs tomorrow. It'll be around 30 to 40 degrees. Now let's get to the good stuff. Futurecast late this weekend, Sunday into Monday, potentially. I've got my eye on the chance for some flurries out towards Ely, but that's not looking very promising for the bulk of the viewing area. And then it looks like we're still on track to have a pattern shift late next week, bringing the possibility of some storms next weekend. So still about a week and a half out. For St. George, low 50s Thursday, and then upper 50s starting on Saturday. And for the Wasatch Front, temps will be around 40 through Friday, mid 40s this upcoming weekend, and then we'll have those temperatures cooling next weekend as well. So I hope you enjoy those temps next week above average.
The Utah Jazz gave Donovan Mitchell a max extension last week. Now the question is, will they get it deal done with Rudy Gobert? Rudy's eligible for a super max extension that could pay him 35% of the team's salary cap after winning 2 NBA Defensive Player of the Year awards and earning All-NBA third-team honors. The deadline for that supermax deal is December 21st, one day before the season starts. Jazz Vice President Dennis Lindsey said on Monday that they love Rudy. They want him to stay with the Jazz for the duration of his career. Rudy isn't letting the negotiations stand in the way of his overall goal.
My approach is still the same. You know, it's My goal is to win a championship here. It's been my goal since I got here, and still the same. You know, I'm focused on the upcoming season, and I'm excited. And about the negotiation talk, that's why I have an agent. You know, so I can focus on basketball and let him take care of that.
BYU basketball. Alex Porcello struggled in the Cougars' loss to USC yesterday, but he played better today against St. John's. Knocks down 3 of his 20 points. Then he gets it to Brandon Averett for 3. He also knocked it down. He scored 12. BYU led it by 6 at the half. The Cougars kept firing it up. Connor Harding from long range. 3 of his 11 points. And here's one more 3 coming up for the Cougars. It's Trevin Neal. He also scored 11. The Cougars beat St. John's 74-68. The Utah football team will host Oregon State on Saturday. Now, it's been a tough start for the Utes. Losses to USC and Washington. They had some great moments in those games, but not enough to win the games. Head coach Kyle Whittingham says his young team needs to learn from their mistakes.
You know, the old adage, what doesn't kill you makes you tougher. And I think there's lessons to be learned, whether you win or lose. There's big lessons to be learned. And this team certainly has a lot of lessons to be learned with the amount of young guys that are getting their opportunity. You know, the key is to continue to learn and not make the same mistakes twice. And, you know, it's our job as coaches to correct mistakes and continue to bring these guys along. They got a great attitude. There's a lot of fight in these freshmen that are playing, and a lot of want to.
Pittsburgh Steelers remain the only undefeated team in the NFL. Joe Hayden with the pick 6. The Steelers beat the Ravens 19-14 to improve to 11-0. We'll be right back.
On the next Modern Family, Jay and Phil are mixing things up in the kitchen.
What the hell are those? Onion goggles. No more tears when I cook. Welcome to the 21st century. You should get a pair. I was going to suggest the same thing.
On the next Modern Family.
Tonight at 6:30 on Fox 13.
We drive everywhere to help our son reach his dream of becoming an elite swimmer. So we enrolled in the Know Your Drive program with American Family Insurance. It gives us discounts for safe driving and other benefits, like emergency roadside service, which comes in handy, no matter where his dreams take him. With Know Your Drive, save up to 20% and get closer to your dreams. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Holiday traditions begin with Modern Display. Shop Utah's largest selection of lifelike Christmas trees with the best warranties and the best customer service. So get your tree from us. Modern Display. Lights, trees, decor, ideas.
If someone you know is living with HIV, know this. A diagnosis does not define them. They're still a friend, a family member. They're still them. And remember, the H is for human. Learn more at hivandme.com.
At the Home Depot, get Black Friday prices now through December on everything you need to show your holiday cheer, from tabletops to treetops. Shout it from the rooftops. Decorating improved with the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
When you shoot the Zesty Burger Sauce Rapids on this new double cheeseburger papadilla, oh, you're gonna wanna capsize in that Chunderdome of meat, cheese, and pickles. The new double cheeseburger papadilla and the return of double cheeseburger pizza. Papa John's.
If you're going out for an evening walk, bundle up, right, Allison?
Yes, very cold across the entire state tonight.
'Tis the season, right?
Right.
Thanks for being with us, everyone. Have a great evening and hope to see you back here tonight at 9.